let's talk about part number 4, Ram Mohan Roy, on page number 39. See, Ram Mohan Roy, a learned man from Bengal, understood what was wrong with the country. Here, let us not despise ourselves. Our ancient culture is great, and we are capable of greater achievements. We must first reform our society. Superstitions have been ruining us. So here you can see Ram Mohan Roy, right? And what he said, right? He was a learned man, means a person great and valued learning. Right here is a word despise, which means feel contempt or a deep repugnance for. Okay, and then as we have read, there were very superstitions, means a widely held but irrational belief in supernatural influences, especially as leading to good or bad luck, or a practice based on such belief. All right, so what happened? Ram Mohan Roy was a well educated man from Bengal. He was one of the first to realize that there was something wrong with our country. He was of the belief that Indians must not consider themselves inferior or look down upon themselves. He believed that our ancient culture was great and the people were destined for greater achievements. According to him, the first step was to change the society by abandoning the prevailing superstition. It was the root cause of all the problem. As we have read, many superstitions were there, like untouchability, child marriage, and women inferiority. So all these were the superstitions, or you can say bad things, which were prevalent in the country. So according to him, these must be removed. He told his wife Uma, cows are of different colors, but the color of their milk is the same. Different teachers have different opinions, but the essence of every religion is the same. So, dear students, look at this statement very, very carefully. What he said while having a conversation with his wife, he told her, Ram Mohan Roy, his wife Uma, and what he said means there were different types of cows, right? And colors of cows are different, really. But what is the similarity? Yes, the color of the milk is white, right? It is nothing there like black cow is given, provide us what? Red milk. No, everybody is providing white milk. So different teachers have different opinions, means according to him, different teachers might have different opinions, but the essence of each religion is the same, means every religion talks about the same thing, that is unity, that is respect for others, right? But their teachings or their learnings can be different, but the main essence, main crux is the same every time. Next, on the same page, he was attracted by science and modern knowledge. Knowledge should be practical and scientific. Alright, here he is, and he took keen interest in science and modern knowledge. According to him, knowledge should be practical and scientific. He even published newspaper, right? And what he did for it, he crossed the seas and went to England to see what made the British powerful. There he told them, we accept you as rulers and you must accept as your subject. But you must remember the responsibility a ruler owes to his subject. So here you can see he started newspaper, but the suspicious British stopped them in 1823. So here he was saying that the knowledge should be practical and scientific. He was attracted towards science, and he started the newspaper. All right, he even published newspaper, which the British stopped out of suspicion in 1823, because he was thinking, and his thinking was very modern, right? He was a follower of modern knowledge and science. So that's why the people of British stopped this newspaper, and for getting more information, he was very keen to know what made the Britishers so powerful. So he crossed the seas and traveled to England. There he is known to tell Britishers that we as a nation accept their rule. He added that they must accept Indians as subjects and not forget their responsibility and duty towards their subjects, means their people, as they were having their we will be your part of the family. Raja Rammohn Roy is known for his efforts to abolish the practice of sati and child marriage. Right, that time child marriage was there, so he was known to stop all these things. So you can see, can we turn the page? Yes, we have to turn the page. Let's open the next page. Here, number 5, oppression 1765 to 1835. All right, so what happened then? So what is the meaning of oppression? Prolonged cruel or unjust treatment or exercise of authority. Right, means you can say cruelty, how they treat Indians. But the British continued to oppress Indians. In the 1818, they had passed Regulation 3. Under it, an Indian could be jailed without trial in a court. Alright, so what happened? The Britishers continued to find new ways to bring misery and suffering to Indians. For instance, they passed unfair regulations that kept them at an advantage, like the regulation in 1818. And under this, an Indian could be jailed without a proper trial in court. Means if they find that someone is doing wrong thing, just take it and put him into the jail. There is no need to go to the court, so no chances of justice. All the time, British officers in India drew big salaries and also made fortunes in private business. As they continued to suppress Indians, they created all sorts of favorable circumstances to uplift their officers. The British officers drew huge amount of salaries and could deepen their pockets by making a fortune out of their private businesses. They were having their private businesses and also drawing big salary from the government. But what about Indians? By 1829, British was exporting British goods worth 7 crore rupees to India. Right, export means they were bringing the goods from the England, right, and selling in the India. So the Britishers were exporting goods in huge quantity from Britain, right. By 1829, they were importing goods worth 7 crore rupees to India. As a result, the Britishers grew richer and richer, leaving the Indian industries high and dry. All right, so what happened? The British powerful the companies loot with the Indian industries began to die. Right. Obviously, if they have to, there was a condition to means they were bringing goods from the England, and so they were not allowing India to sell their own goods. That's why the industries became started dying. So Governor General Benting reported back home, right? The bones of cotton weavers are bleaching the plains of India. So, as a result, the Britishers grew richer and richer and leaving the Indian industries high and dry. So, Governor General Bentinck, this one, as you can see in the picture, had conveyed to Britain that the bones of cotton weavers are bleaching the plains of India to highlight the plights and misery of the traditional cotton weavers in India. Right, it was the traditional business of India, and he was saying this to highlight this business. And this means that the cotton weavers were forced to starve because of the cotton mills set up by the Britishers. They produced much cheaper cloth with the help of machine that led the traditional Indian handcrafts to extinction. All right, means Indian cotton weavers were facing trouble in their business. Now, page number 41, dissatisfaction 1835 to 1856. Education in India was in Persian and Sanskrit. In 1835, an Englishman named Maclay suggested a change. We should teach the natives through the English language. I agree. Alright, so back then all the teachings were in the form of Persian and Sanskrit. These were the two languages which were continuing in India. But so in 1835, a British officer named Maclay suggested that they must translate all of it in English so that the education is delivered in their language. Alright, now they wanted to start English language in India. English education produced clerks to whom the British gave petty jobs under them. Incidentally, it also produced a new generation of intellectuals. Here, we must educate our brothers and try to improve their material conditions. For that, we must convey our grievances to the British Parliament. Alright, here is the word clerk. It's just kind of a job post, and a clerk performs a variety of clerical and administrative duties such as answering the telephone, typing document, filling and contacting with clients. Right, petty means a secondary or lesser importance work. Okay, so what happened incidentally used to add a further comment or a remark. Intellectuals, a person possessing a highly developed intellect. All right, grievances, complaints. So what happened, they did so to produce clerk. They wanted to start English, and why did they want, they wanted to add this because they wanted to produce clerk to get their unimportant clerical tasks and administrative duties like answering the phone, typing documents, filling the uh, filing the and dealing with the clients done. In the process of doing so, they manufactured a whole new generation of masterminds who wanted to uplift their brothers too by educating them. They wanted to strengthen their financial prospect that could convey this to the British Parliament, and Britishers, on the other hand, couldn't care less about the needs of the Indian people. As you can see the picture, by 1856 the British had conquered the whole of the India. As you can see in the first picture, we have seen the Britishers were there only. All right, but you can see now the Britishers are everywhere. Okay, so they cared little about the needs of Indians. Our kings have become puppets and we lost our old jobs and lands. They are converting our brothers. All right. So by this time, Indian people had become more worried. Their king were now being treated as puppets. Puppets means, have you ever seen puppets? Yes, they couldn't do anything. Another person, with the help of thread, make them perform the activities. Right. So similarly, they were saying that Indian people had become more worried. Their kings were now being treated as puppets, and they had lost their old jobs and lands, and Britishers were forcing some of them to change their religions. Indians were tired of talking and wanted to do the something. By 1856, the Britishers had acquired all parts of India. Okay.